gym, PE, whatever you want to call it, you had the nerdy kids that shouldn't even be there, the girls that thought it was going to be an easy A but end up doing nothing and getting a C. Then you had the try-hard kids who thought they were in the Olympics. I won't lie, that was definitely me. I loved PE. Ever since I was in school, I absolutely loved it. I thought of it as a second recess. In fact, I think it's better than recess. I was never an unathletic kid. I wasn't one of the top athletic kids, but I was skinny, agile, not too fast, but fast enough, and I had good reflexes, all of which enhanced the enjoyment of gym class up until the cup stacking unit. Which, my fellow Americans, what the hell was going on in that class? I remember like my last 2 years of elementary school, we had this cup stacking unit in PE class, and bro, it was the most boring, snooze fest, cringe, pointless thing I've ever done. I think it became obsolete like 3 months after it came out, but the PE teacher was so dedicated to it, we just kept doing it. But in my last video, I got a lot of comments of people saying that they actually had a really bad PE teacher, like it was some fat loser that rides around on a scooter or something. I never had that PE teacher. I think my football coach was something like that, but he actually had problems with his legs and I think he actually died. So rest in peace, bro. But he was actually a pretty good guy. There was this one fat PE teacher that I didn't even have, and I accidentally almost hit him with a basketball. I was trying to throw it at one of my friends because they threw it at me first, and I missed and almost hit him, and I actually think he threatened to beat my ass. He said something like, if that actually hit me, I would have kicked your ass or something. It's like, bro, I'm 14. Somebody's wife must have been coming home a little bit late. But other than that, my PE teachers were actually really fit and also really chill. Elementary school, I had this one PE teacher that was old. He was like 60, but bro, he was buff and he had really good games for us to play too. I remember he had this game called Yarn Ball. So basically, you have a Pringles can, right? And you pick a spot in the gym to put your Pringles can down. Now, you can't be too close to somebody, and you can't kick or knock over somebody's can with your body. You have to go around picking up these things called yarn balls. They look like this. So you throw these yarn balls at people's cans, so now you're starting to get the idea. You gotta stay near your can to protect it, because if it gets knocked down, you're out. It's a game about offense and defense, but it's a free-for-all, so you gotta protect yourself from all angles. But also, if you knock down your own can, you're also out. That was one of the funnest PE games I've ever played. He also had this fun game we'd play on Halloween. He would set up this obstacle course around the gym. He'd turn off the lights, and I think he'd have the gym door open so a little bit creeps in, because you don't want it too dark. But then he himself would get in this getup of one of those glasses and big nose things. He'd also have on a lab coat and a flashlight. So if you made any loud noises by crashing your obstacle, he would shine it on you and you'd get sent to jail. And I think you could jailbreak people if you finished the obstacle. I'm not entirely sure because it's been such a long time, but bro, as a 10-year-old, you could imagine just how fun and exciting that is. In elementary school, we had this after-school program where kids would sign up to help guide kids walking home from school across the street and stuff. You would have on a safety vest and you'd wield this makeshift stop sign. And whenever there's any kids that needed to cross the road, you would just stick out your stop sign and the kids would cross. These stop sign things are pretty heavy. I mean, it's like a stop sign on a broomstick. So at 11 or 10 years old, you had to hold these with 2 hands. And even then, it was pretty heavy. So the PE teacher was actually the head of this organization. And one day I see him coming out with his safety vest on and 2 of these stop sign things, 1 in each hand. Bro was like the Dark Souls boss of traffic stops. 6th grade came along and PE got even more fun. There was new games we'd have pickup basketball, 5v5 basketball, we'd have flag football, all the games I mentioned in my last video. The PE teacher was a really chill guy. He was pretty funny. He always had witty comebacks. He was good at his job, he knew what he was doing. Unfortunately, he ended up getting fired. The rumor was that he was messing with some girls and he was a pedophile, but I don't think that was it. I actually heard it was because he took a girl to her house after a track or cross country meet. It was getting late or something and she didn't have a ride, so he just drove her, and that's apparently against school regulations. You know how rumors get twisted around, but still, I don't know. Till this day, I still don't know. He ended up getting replaced by this Johnny Sins looking ass dude, and I got a funny story for him. So in 8th grade PE, this weird kid would follow me around. This kid was genuinely weird. He was actively hardcore racist. He'd call black kids the hard R to their face. and he was a pretty small kid, so I think they just felt bad about beating his ass. He looked really funny too, like the Bring Me Horizon guy, but the face of a mole rat. So this kid has a pretty bad rep, and me and him were messing around with this coin during PE. We're like throwing it off the backboards and stuff, and I pick it up and I just decide I'm just gonna throw it across the gym, whatever, I don't care. It was a pretty small coin, it was just a dime, so I thought no harm, no foul. Well, 5 minutes later, a whistle is blown and we're all lined up on the court. Turns out that dime I threw hit that Johnny Sins looking ass dude right in his bald head, and he is pissed. And when it came to punishment, PE teachers were pretty smart, they knew what they were doing. This guy's threat was if nobody comes out on who did it, he's gonna make the whole class run the track for the next like 6 weeks. I thought he was bluffing, I thought it would just blow over, but after interrogating the class for 20 minutes, I finally stepped forward and told everybody that it was me. I got responded with, "It's okay, we know you didn't do it. You don't have to take the blame for somebody else." And then everybody collectively stares at the kid I was with. Apparently everybody thought it was him and they just wanted him to admit it. But it wasn't. And now that I actually admitted it, it would be awkward for me to admit it again, so we ended up walking the track for 6 weeks. Now the other middle school PE teacher was the woman, right? You have to have a male and a female PE teacher so they can each chaperone the locker rooms. Now she was skinny, short, and pregnant. Bro, I would be scared to death to be pregnant around a bunch of kids, considering the story at the beginning of the video about me almost hitting a PE teacher with a basketball. Like, it sounds like one of those mobile game ads where the pregnant ladies be having these forced miscarriages and shit. But luckily, she had the baby, it was all healthy, everything was all good, so blessings to her. High school, my high school PE teacher, I actually heard he recently quit because he blew up on TikTok. I'm not about to expose him, but he does look like Drake. That's the only hint you'll get. The only story I got about this guy is that I got an 89% in PE, and I just wanted to get that A for the GPA, and so I asked him if there was anything I could do for an A. I know that sounds sus, but listen. He said I had to do 100 push-ups right in front of him. I got to about 70 or 80, my arms were giving in, and he just gave it to me anyways. I respect it, but I could not curl my arms for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, overall PE was definitely my favorite subject, but I gotta give thanks to the teachers. I bet if I did have one of those fat teachers that yelled at people riding a scooter or something, I probably would have had a terrible time too.